Chapter 1. Blood spat in Gaia. Scrooge's nose was bleeding. A stream of red covered over his orange bill like a bow wrapping an orange gift of disappointment. Uncle Scrooge has been doing the cocaine again and again and again. He has all his money in the world, but is not happy. Mr. McDuck, you're bleeding again, said Miss Beakley. Don't you look at me, you fat duck shit, retorted Scrooge. I need to do another semen test. You're not going to prick my little ducktail again, damn it. Said Scrooge, falling down. The cocaine made him weary. Scrooge passed out and hit his head on the corner of his naked female duck-shaped gold table. Blood spat out of his head and nose like a train spouting steam. This was Miss Beakley's chance to get the semen she needed for the monthly testing. Scrooge was old, beyond old. He had himself tested regularly to keep him in pristine shape, for he was 184 in duck years. One of the tests was for his vitality, involved his semen. He wanted an heir to his fortune, and he doesn't want to give his money to his good-for-nothing biker gang nephews. Scrooge hated Donald Duck and never wanted to take care of his snot-nosed kids, Huey, Dewey, and Louie. Donald went off to Guadalajara to get the sex change operation. Scrooge told him not to do it and hated the fact that he did do it, but secretly Scrooge was jealous because he secretly wanted the operation for himself. Scrooge loved women's clothes and the fact that once a month women go through their special cycle that keeps them close to the ebb and flow of the ocean and moons. That mysterious ritual that connects the women of the earth connected with the woman of the earth, Gaia. Secretly, Scrooge wanted to share in the sacrificial ceremony of giving blood to Gaia through bleeding of the cooch, but alas, he couldn't. But his way of bleeding was bleeding of the nose. That's why he did the cocaine, so he could bleed like the woman of this earth and of all earths. Chapter 2. My Kraken and My Magica Dust. Scrooge awoke to see the stroking of his duck penis by Miss Beakley. She didn't like the job because Scrooge rarely baths down there, and plus she's a lesbian. Why you be taking at my Kraken, old banshee-ho, bitch? Mr. Scrooge, calm down. How else are going to artificially spreminate Magica Dispel for your only chance for a son, said Miss Beakley, strokingly. It's true, long-term rival enemy, Magica Dispel, was indeed Scrooge's wife. Scrooge loved Magica. He loved her jet-black hair, her long, wispy eyelashes, her sex-up lips, and her ability to make the magic dust, cocaine. Magica was hardly around, though. She liked the discotheques and shaven young men ducks. So the routine was always make the magic dust for Scrooge, then go off with the lovers. Scrooge was fine with this, though. Although he loved her, he knew she was a wild duck at heart and which could not be tamed. But while she was off party dancing, he was doing the coke and trying on her dresses. That kept him alive. What also will keep him alive in spirit will be his semen in her womb, thus making a baby. Miss Beakley finished ringing the knob and got what she needed. Scrooge was exhausted and in pain, in both heads. Webigal can runnin' in. Uncle Scroogey, come quick. Huey, Dewey, and Louie beating up Gyro, and I think there might be a rape. Chapter 3. Webigal the Snitch. Webigal was always a snitch. Growing up, she was always a bitch to everyone. She always resented her mother, Miss Beakley, or as Webby liked to call her, Miss Lesbian Bitchley. Even now, at 24, Webby was still a snitchy bitch. And now she snitched on they boys. Those boys were no good, though. They were a bunch of gay thugs that liked beating up bums and weak men ducks and then have sex with them. These boys were bad, but looking at their father, it's not hard to see why they're dysfunctional. It starts with the family unit. Chapter 4. The Pain. Why? What the fuck are you bastards doing? Yelled Scrooge. Slack off, old McFart, snarled Louie. The boys were ready for a raping tonight, all ready to go. There's a reason those ducks don't wear pants. As they were about to plunge into Gyro, he yelped, "Help me, Gizmo Duck!" What Gyro didn't know was that Gizmo wasn't around anymore. He went to jail for molesting a duckling. So Gyro was screaming for the help of a molester. Pitiful. Scrooge knew this and wept on the inside. He thought to himself, where has this world come to? What pain and suffering? Why? Chapter 5. The calmness and the gyrating. A calmness struck Scrooge as he saw the boy strip Gyro of his down feathers. He did nothing but stand there. He couldn't do anything. He was helpless, and he knew it. He knew he should just stop cheating death and just die. Scrooge started to cry. Gyro started to cry because he saw Scrooge standing there while the boys were gyrating all over Gyro. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, Magica appeared riding a horse she made out of cherries. "You want a piece of these pussies?" snarled Magica. From her fingertips came a lightning bolts in soda cans that struck each boy on the rumpkins. The boys, one by one, instantly turned into Hershey's Kisses. Gyro stood up and ate them. "Give me back my dignity, you crumb bums," snarled Gyro. Scrooge remained standing there, numb like a statue. Magica came up to him and smiled and pointed to her stomach. "I am, how you say, knocked up," snarled Magica. She then began to laugh. Scrooge began to laugh. Even Gyro began to laugh. Then he coughed and threw up blood. The end.